In the quiet of the morning, before the chaos of the day can begin to swallow you whole, there's one simple act that can set the course of your life on a new trajectory. One small, seemingly insignificant action that can be the difference between a life lived in control and a life dominated by the whims of fate. It's not about making grand, sweeping changes. It's not about waiting for that perfect moment, that magical shift, or that fateful day when everything will come together. It's about the smallest of victories, done in the quietest of moments. And it starts with making your bed. When you wake up, you don't need a grand plan. You don't need to tackle the universe all at once. All you need is that single, purposeful act, making your bed. A simple, seemingly trivial action, but one that holds the power to set the stage for the rest of your day. You might think it's just a bed, just some sheets and a pillow. But in that act you take control. In a world that feels increasingly chaotic, in a world where it's so easy to lose sight of what's important, making your bed is your declaration of purpose. This philosophy is rooted deeply in the wisdom shared by Admiral William H. McRaven, a man who knows what it means to live a life built on discipline, grit, and purpose. In his book, Make Your Bed, McRaven takes us on a journey through his experiences as a Navy SEAL, sharing the lessons learned in the most intense, life-or-death moments. And in his eyes, the simple act of making your bed is not just about tidying up your space. It's a reflection of your commitment to yourself, to your mission, and to the life you want to create. When McRaven was a young SEAL candidate, he learned quickly that the smallest actions matter. The SEALs operate in the most extreme conditions. Their success relies on the ability to perform under stress, to make critical decisions when lives are on the line. And yet, even in the face of death, it was the small foundational actions like making your bed that formed the bedrock of their success. That's the core message of this book and of McRaven's philosophy. Small victories create big change. It's easy to feel overwhelmed in a world that demands constant monumental shifts. It's easy to get lost in the big picture, to see the mountain you need to climb and become paralyzed by its enormity. But what McRaven teaches us is this: the way you take control of your life is by taking control of the small things, the things that seem insignificant on the surface. You win the morning, and the rest will follow. It's not about waiting for inspiration to strike. It's not about waiting for that perfect moment when everything falls into place. The truth is, that moment may never come. Life doesn't wait for perfection. Life doesn't wait for you to have it all figured out. But life will reward you for taking small, deliberate steps. It all begins with making your bed. Think about it. You wake up. You have a choice. You can let the day unravel itself, letting the weight of uncertainty and overwhelming tasks take over. Or you can take that first step, make your bed. In doing so, you make a statement. You declare to the world and to yourself that you are in control. You're not waiting for a perfect moment to begin. You're starting now, with the smallest of steps. What McRaven understood, and what we often forget, is that the small victories compound. One act of discipline leads to another. Making your bed in the morning becomes a symbol, a reminder that you have the power to control your day. And when you control your day, you begin to control your life. The first time you make your bed, it's a victory. The second time, it's a habit. The third time, it becomes a part of your identity. You are someone who wins small battles, and slowly, through these small victories, you transform your mindset. You no longer see life as a series of insurmountable obstacles. You begin to see life as a series of small challenges, each one an opportunity to prove yourself, each one a stepping stone on your path to greatness. And here's the most important part. This doesn't just apply to the military. This is not just a philosophy for Navy SEALs. This is for you. This is for everyone who has ever felt like the world was too big, too chaotic, or too overwhelming to handle. This philosophy is for anyone who has ever been paralyzed by fear, doubt, or uncertainty. It's for anyone who has ever been stuck, unsure of where to begin or how to move forward. It's for everyone who has ever looked at the mountain ahead and thought, "I'll never get to the top." But what if I told you that the way to the top is not through giant leaps, but through small, consistent steps? That's the truth. The way forward is simple. Start small, start now. Imagine if today you decided that you weren't going to wait for the world to change before you took action. What if you decided that today you were going to take control of the small things? What if every morning you began your day with one small victory? You woke up and made your bed. You wrote a to-do list, you read a page of a book, you took a walk. You did something that moved you forward. Even if it was just a little bit, what would that do to your life? How would your world change if you started seeing the small victories as stepping stones to bigger things? It all starts with making your bed. This philosophy, this simple yet powerful principle, will change how you see your life. It's a call to action. It's a challenge to stop waiting for perfection and start embracing the power of small actions. It's a challenge to stop making excuses and start making progress. And the best part, it works. Every time you make your bed, you make a commitment to yourself. You prove to yourself that you can take control, that you can overcome obstacles, that you are capable of making a change, no matter how small. And the more you win these small battles, the more confident you become. The more you begin to trust yourself, and the more you begin to realize that you are the author of your own story. You see, the truth is that we often lose control of our lives because we're overwhelmed by the big picture. We look at all the things we need to change, all the things we need to accomplish, and we freeze. We wait for the perfect moment, the perfect plan. We wait for something external to change. But what if I told you that the key to taking control is not in the grand sweeping gestures, but in the small everyday actions? This is your opportunity. Right now, to stop waiting, to stop making excuses, to start winning your day, one small action at a time. Take a moment, think about it. When was the last time you did something small that made you feel in control? When was the last time you took the first step, even when you weren't sure where it would lead? Leave a comment below and share what small step you'll take today to change your life. What small action will you take to take control of your day? I'd love to hear your thoughts. This isn't just about making your bed. This is about making your life. It's about shaping your identity. It's about taking control of the small things so you can take control of the big things. And remember, you are capable of more than you think. The small victories matter, they add up. And one day you'll look back and realize that it wasn't the big dramatic changes that made the difference. It was the small things, the things that seemed insignificant at the time. But in the end, those small actions will have been the foundation of everything you've achieved. So take a deep breath, stand tall, and make your bed. Today, that small action is your first victory, and from there is nothing you can't achieve. And now, if this woke something up inside you, if it reminded you of who you are and what you're truly capable of, then don't keep it to yourself. There's someone out there right now still living in silence, still drowning in excuses, still waiting for permission to rise. Share this with them. Be the reason they wake up too. And if you're tired of surface-level thinking, tired of the noise, the excuses, the sleepwalking through life, then take your seat. This isn't just a channel. It's a circle around the fire, a place for those who are done being average and ready to rise. Here, we don't just talk about growth, we burn for it. So take your seat at the fire, subscribe, not just to content, but to the mindset, the mission, the movement. Let them scroll, let them sleep. You build empires.